Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'll present you with Harumasa team and build guide. Harumasa is an exceptional addition to the game as a free character, especially for new players, beginners, or people who are looking to have an increased roster of characters. Harumasa teams are very free-to-play friendly, and you have quite a lot of options with him as well. Before I talk about his build, I would like to have a quick overview of what he does. Effectively, Harumasa is a quick swap burst type of character. He will generate electric quivers with his kit, such as X special attacks, chain attacks, and so on. And while these electric quivers are on the field, you can detonate them by holding basic attack or special attack, and then you will apply X mark on enemies. And if there are any enemies with the X mark present on the field, and then you can use his enhanced dash attacks to perform melee combos upon these enemies. He's a very bursty type of character, pretty cool stuff. And now let's go over to Harumasa build. But there is one thing I actually forgot to let you know, guys. That a lot of you guys who watch me are not subscribed. If you like to support this small channel, feel free to subscribe. Smile. And now let's continue with the video. Let's begin with his main stats first. Harumasa Drive Disc 4 is going to be critical damage, because his kit already provides a lot of critical rate boosts for his enhanced dash attacks, and also his V engine, specifically the free event V engine, also provides critical rate. You would effectively overcap your crit rate if you're going with a Drive Disc 4 critical rate. That's why I highly recommend you focus on critical damage instead. Drive Disc 5, electric damage, pen ratio, or attack percentage. The main stat choice here will heavily depend on what buffs/teammates you are using with Harumasa. For example, if you're using Rina, which provides pen ratio buff, then you could go with Drive Disc 5 pen ratio and stack a lot of pen ratio stats up to 100%. Beyond 100%, it does not work. And lastly, Drive Disc 6 attack percentage, pretty straightforward. Now let's go over his substats. It's going to be critical rate, critical damage, attack percentage, and flat pen. Flat pen will be more important if you have more pen ratio on your Harumasa. For critical rate, I recommend you try to push as close as possible to 100% critical rate. Harumasa Core passive already provides about 25% critical rate for his enhanced dash attacks, and each time you trigger a critical hit with this enhanced dash attack, he will gain 1 stack of a buff, up to 6 stacks, which will increase his critical damage further. That is why you want to have crit rate as much as possible and close to 100%, if not 100%, should be able to get these stacks with every single hit to maximize his damage. Now let's talk about his Drive Disc options. They're extremely straightforward, I would say. Thunder Metal, exceptionally amazing for Harumasa, especially if you play a double/mono electric team. You'll have the uptime of this relatively easily. It's a nice 28% attack boost. However, if you do not have Thunder Metal available, or you are not playing a mono electric type of team, you can go with Hormone Punk. Hormone Punk can also work quite well for Harumasa, because he is a quick swap type of character, and you can take advantage of this nice 25% attack boost when you switch in with him. It is very powerful, but do know that he has a 10-second duration and a 20-second cooldown. So you do have to pay attention to Hormone Punk buff, and you can easily mismanage this. If this is something you don't want to keep track of, there is another solution as well that you could use, which would be Woodpecker Electro. This one provides critical rate, which is alright, and also 4-piece set bonus, which will provide you a lot of attack boost, depending whether you do a basic attack, dodge counter, and so on. However, I do highly recommend that you do get Thunder Metal, especially if you're going to play mono electric teams with him. You'll get so much more out of this one. Now let's talk about these 2-piece options. It's going to be Hormone Punk 2-piece set, 10% attack, good stuff. Thunder Metal, 10% electric damage. Woodpecker Electro, 8% critical rate. And lastly, Puffer Electro, 8% pen ratio. I would recommend using Puffer Electro, specifically if you're going for the pen ratio build with his Drive Disc, and then you're using supports buffers that provide also pen ratio buffs. You can stack a lot of pen ratio this way. Overall, with these 2-piece slots, they're quite flexible for Harumasa. I would recommend using the one that has the best substats. Now let's talk about Harumasa V engine options. Harumasa has has a lot of amazing V-engine options. The best one, pretty much hands down, it's going to be the Event V-engine from 1.4 patch. Make sure to get this one. It provides critical rate of 20% as an advanced stat, and also passive effect, which will give you 9.6% attack boost when X special attack or chain attack hits an enemy, along with an additional boost by 9.6% attack, effectively doubled, if the enemy is under an anomaly attribute state. This V-engine is extremely good for Harumasa, very beginner friendly effectively, because you get Harumasa for free in 1.4 patch along with this V-engine, and when we talk about his team options, they're also very beginner friendly. We'll get to that soon, but also like to talk about his signature, because maybe some of you guys will watch this video at a later time or you missed out on the Event V-engine. His signature is also very strong, of course. It provides 48% critical damage. The passive effect, it's 10% crit rate. Dash attacks will be boosted by 40% of electric damage increase. And also when any teammates apply attribute anomaly or when enemies get stunned, critical rate further boosted by 10% for 12 seconds. So effectively, this V-engine provides you 20% critical rate, 48% critical damage, and a 40% electric damage boost for your enhanced dash attacks. Very powerful V-engine, and you can definitely go for this one if you did not get / missed the Event V-engine. Of course, there are also some other alternatives that you can look into if you do not have the V-engine and you cannot get the signature. That would be the Brimstone. This one will still work perfectly fine for him. It provides attack boosts. It's okay. And lastly, Starlight Engine. This is of course not as good as the Event V-engine. For whatever reason you cannot use Event V-engine or you missed it or something like that, then you would have to use this one. But nevertheless, I hope you guys get that V-engine because it's really good for Harumasa. And personally, I would also not recommend going for his signature V-engine because that Event V-engine is very good for him and also it's free. Now, let's talk about Harumasa team options. We'll begin with free-to-play / new player options, and he has amazing options regarding that. You can effectively play Harumasa with Ambi. She's a stunner, electric as well, so it's gonna pair up nicely with Harumasa, and you can combine it with Nicole. Nicole will also work here. Her additional ability doesn't really matter for Harumasa team because her additional ability boosts ether damage for your team. It's not like Harumasa does ether damage. What Nicole provides is defense reduction on enemies, so she'll do more bursty type of damage. Nicole is an amazing option for Harumasa because Harumasa is a quick swap burst type of character and it synergizes really well with Nicole. So this would be the free-to-play new player core that you can effectively play right away from the get-go because these two characters are given for free, obviously Harumasa as well, and you have a nice strong team to go through the story, content and so on as well. You can also replace Nicole with Rina if you happen to get her. Rina is also very amazing for Harumasa. She also provides pen ratio buffs. Also, by having Rina, Ambi and Harumasa together, you're playing a mono-electric team where you can actually get to use that Thunder Metal effectively because shock will always be on enemies more or less, nothing else, and you always have that 28% attack boost on Harumasa. However, do know that with Rina at M0 specifically, she does not have the increase on her buff, so it can be a bit more awkward for rotations. If you do get one copy from Gacha and the other from Selector, you'll have M1, and then it's gonna be easier to do those rotations. Now let's talk about more premium teams with Harumasa. So the premium team for Harumasa would be effectively swapping Ambi with Chingy. Chingy is an amazing option for Harumasa. She works well in these type of quick swap teams, just like she does with Zuyu-1, because she's basically being played on field, and then you get to stun the enemies, and you swap in with Harumasa to do his combo and stuff. It's really good. So effectively, it would be Chingy plus Rina. I would say this is a very strong team for Harumasa. You can also replace Rina with Caesar. This will also work well. And if you don't have Caesar nor Rina with Chingy, you can obviously always use Nicole. Like I said, it does not matter if you do not have the additional ability available. Or if you do not have Chingy on your account, but you do have Caesar, then you can play Harumasa with Caesar plus Rina, or Nicole once again if you do not have Rina. So as you can see with Harumasa, you have quite a lot of team options. Very good stuff for a free character if you ask me. And lastly, let's talk about Bangboo options. It's going to be plug Boo, especially if you play with two electric teammates or a mono electric team. However, if you do not meet two electric requirements, you can still use plug Boo, but then I would personally recommend going with Agent Gulliver instead, because Agent Gulliver has increased multipliers compared to plug Boo. And if you're comparing plug Boo and Agent Gulliver without their additional ability active, Agent Gulliver should come on top. However, do know that plug Boo will be much more flexible on your account, because whenever you play two electric teammates, he will work. Meanwhile, Gulliver has to be specifically played with two Section 6 characters. So yeah, I guess this is it for this video. I believe Harumasa is an amazing option for newer, beginner players, or even returning players. It's definitely gonna help you with content progression. And also now with the new endgame mode we're getting in 1.4 patch, where you can use a third team as well to have an easier time to get 6 stars from that endgame mode. Having an extra team with Harumasa is definitely going to help. So even if you're a veteran player, you can take advantage of Harumasa by having a third team on your account if you don't already have for that new endgame mode. And also, like I already said, for beginners, new players, this is also an amazing character. Very flexible teams, very good. And also, if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to ask me in the comments down below. Or even better, feel free to drop by my streams. I stream every single day on Twitch/YouTube. And of course, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a like, smile, and yeah, that's it. I wish you a wonderful day and see you in the next video.